Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Art of Spiritual Sleep. My name is Wendy Rosenthal, and I'm your host, alongside Kabbalistic sleep and dream expert Mordechay Balas. Hi, Mordechay.
Hi, Wendy. It's great to be here. Hope
Always
everyone
good.
slept well.
Yeah, me too. How'd you sleep last night?
Oh, it was great. So deep.
Good. I'm so glad to hear that. Today's episode is Dreams Are a Spiritual Tool. And Mordechay, you're going to tell us a little bit about the fact, like, nobody thinks that dreams and sleep are a spiritual tool. Like, I've been a student of spirituality for a long time, and I've never really heard it, put in that way. So I'm really excited to have you talk about what that means. Before you do, though, I want to remind everybody that we really love to get your comments and questions. So please make sure if you have one, you put it in the comment section below, and we will try and get to it. If we don't, check back, because we tend to go back and answer things if we couldn't get to it in the show. Also, I want to make sure that you all stick around for the end of the episode, because that is when we talk the language of dreams, and Mordechay will share with us the symbol of the week, as well as giving you something to sleep on. That's every week. We give you something you can practice to help your sleep and your dreams elevate to the next level. All right, Mordechay. Spiritual
Yes.
tool, dream, sleep. Tell us about it.
So I think, first of all, just to make something clear, I think many of us, if not all of us, have to one degree or another a belief system. The dreams are not so important. Like, even if, let's say, we go to the movies and we go with someone, let's say a child, and they're a little bit afraid because it does feel real, So what do we tell them? It's just a movie. Don't worry. What are we actually saying? It's not real. Similarly, when we have a dream that really shook us up, I'm not necessarily talking about positive, good dreams, but one that really woke you up, and it's a bit disturbing, to say the least. What do you tell yourself usually, or many times people tell themselves? Yeah, it's just a dream. Thank God it was just a dream. And
Exactly.
this is the beginning. We need to shift. It's important that we shift the way we perceive dreams.
I think that's incredible. I didn't even think about that, how much we dismiss dreams or ignore them because we don't like them. Or, like you're saying, we have a belief system around them that means that, they're just, something happens when we go to sleep. We so don't understand.
It doesn't work this way. Like, oh, you know what? I'm good as long as the dreams are good. But if the dream it's like a filtering, right? It's like someone is married to another person, and I'm happy and good with our marriage as long as you give me what I want. But if you're giving me a hard time, this is not for me. And we have to understand it's a package deal. Take the good, and what seems to be challenging also is good.
Right. But also to really shift our thinking about what really powerful sleep is, and what, as a result of that powerful sleep, what amazing dreams can do for us, right?
Yeah.
Good and bad. And I think that is like breaking a kind of almost a multi-generational, thousands of years, belief system.
And,
So,
it,
okay.
and it's questioning everything in a way, in a healthy way, not in a way that brings a doubt. Why are you in a relationship? Like, why are you, how do you view your body? Do you view your body as a tool, as a vehicle? Or do you view your body as, let me just do whatever I want with it? Do you view your relationship as a tool to help you grow and reveal more light in the world? Or do you view your relationship as something that just benefits me? So if we all start to view dreams as a tool, sleep as a tool, it's going to change everything internally, and as a result also externally.
So what's the first step then, Mordechay, to understanding the power of it as a spiritual tool?
So it's with the understanding, of course, after we recognize this belief system in one level, because we might have different versions of it for different people, right? This belief system. I think the next step is to start to understand the value. because and we spoke about it in different ways, right? You can give messages, you can receive messages, you can do the work, as you go to sleep, you can do things, you can plant seeds, and so many other things which we'll discover more and more as we go. But one of the things that we can take as the next step is to understand what's happening when we are sleeping, internally, spiritually. What's happening is that during the day we have different belief systems and different perceptions that prevent us from receiving all that the light of the Creator wants to give to us. Very clear.
A lot, right?
The light of the Creator wants to give to us more than we want to receive. When we go to sleep, those guards or those false guards that say, yeah, you got a compliment, but it wasn't really you. You want to receive this, but are you really worthy? When we go to sleep, if we had really good sleep, when we are asleep, all of our guards are away. The body consciousness, as we'll discover in a later episode, is not interrupting. We are aligned with the light. Most of the time, as our teacher Rav Berg taught us, the Creator wants to give to you all the time more than you want to receive. What's the problem? You, or actually your belief system, your perception, standing in the way. When we go to sleep, we align ourselves with the light of the Creator. By the way, that's what meditation does to one degree or another, but some people have a hard time meditating.
I don't have as hard a time sleeping, although I do have a hard time meditating. But I think that's so interesting that you just brought that up, because I'll tell you nowadays, and it's not a bad thing. I think it's an amazing thing. Meditation in all spiritual modalities is becoming like the thing. Everybody's got to, meditate. You've got all of the apps and all of the ways that you can access meditations. But even with all of that, I have to tell you personally, I struggle to meditate, even for 10 or 15 minutes, even practicing, I make an effort. So
Yes.
It's amazing to think that there's an alternative that's equally as much of a tool to connect to your inner self and to the Creator. That's amazing.
It's the deepest meditation.
Yeah.
As I think I mentioned this in the past, that animals, when they are wounded, they do two things. One is they hibernate, which is going to sleep. And the second one, which we'll discuss in a later episode, they ground themselves, which has a different value. But it's
what does ground yourself mean? What does it mean, ground themselves? Tell me really fast.
The animals are connecting to the ground. The ground has a special value because we are made out of these four elements, right? Mm-hmm. Each and every one of us. And we all receive those nourishments from those elements.
Okay.
So let's say air, you breathe. Water, you drink, right? Fire, it's related also to the food that you eat, that gives you the fire, the energy. Mm-hmm. But earth, along the years, we got disconnected from the earth. So we're not really receiving. Yes, you can get it through food, but it's not as effective. So we're going to talk about it later on. What can you do about it when you're actually sleeping? Okay. How can you connect to the ground? But I think it raises another question, which is why, we have this, many of us have this belief system that it's not so important. We already spoke about it. But why it's not so important? Why not so many people talk about it? Even in spirituality, right?
Yeah. I can't think of any spiritual practices that I've come across, and I can't say that I've run across all of them, but you don't hear any real conversation about sleep and dreams. And I'm going to be honest, even in the Kabbalistic tradition, the way it's taught today, having been a student for a long time, that's not something that has been shared with me as, hey, this is a big tool. We know about it because there's, parables from the Bible and things like that, Joseph and his dreams, and Abraham and Isaac and Jacob on their dreams, but it's never been anything as powerful as what you're talking about. Why is that?
Well, there's two options. One, maybe someone would say, I guess it's not so important, so it didn't get so much attention. But the real understanding is what Rav Brandwein, the teacher of Rav Berg, our teacher, shares with Rav Berg, that if you want to find out what's really the most important thing in life, or the most important things in life, find out those things that people pay less attention to. Think about it, right? Sleep. Who thinks about sleep? You just prepare to bed and you just hit your head on the pillow and that's it. You wake up 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours later. That already shows you, if you have a treasure, where are you going to put the treasure? You have a diamond ring that is worth $50 million. Are you going to put it on the kitchen table? Or are you going to find a way that no one will even think? Hide it in the garbage. No one will even dare to look at the garbage. And that's what dreams are about. So, even if we look at a day-to-day, we think a day-to-day can create wow, big impact. We're giving it so much energy. But it's exactly the opposite. It's actually your night sleep that does way more. And there's a whole talk about it right now. There's a research about, maybe I mentioned it, business leverage. Business leverage, that people, more and more business people, more and more entrepreneurs understand this today, that 20-minute meditation can make the next 5, 6, 7 hours 10, 100,000 times more efficient, more prosperous, more effective. But yet you have this voice in your mind, we call it in Kabbalah the opponent, that opposed to us, that tells us, you idiot, why are you wasting now 20 minutes on meditation? You can really go right now and spend those 20 minutes working more, answering another set of emails. But today more and more people understand this. So if this is the relation, this is the awakening about meditation, imagine the awakening about sleep. How many people think that sleep is a waste of time? Or, I gotta get up tomorrow morning an hour earlier because I have a lot of things to do. Wait a second. Yeah.
Tell you, it's funny. I've done that where I've thought if I wake up an hour earlier, I'm showing the creator I have bigger desire. Honestly, and for many years, I'd be up at 5:30 in the morning doing something for work, right? It seems like I got it all wrong.
And by the way, I want to share with you something, a secret, that because, and again, it's more and more as you practice and apply those things. I don't think I ever shared this with anyone, so this is the first time. Sometimes, even though I plan to wake up at 6:30, at 6, at 7, whatever that time, sometimes deliberately, while I'm still sleeping, I choose, I know it might sound a little bit weird, I choose to sleep a little bit further, maybe 10, 20, 30 more minutes, because I have a dream that I need to fully use and resolve in order to open for me more gates in this day to come.
Wow.
And it happens to me quite often. I would say at least once a week. You might say, oh, he just loves to sleep. I need to use this to open up more gates. So what would I rather do? 10 more minutes where I'm unlimited, or using those 10 minutes in the physical reality where I have those belief systems I need to work on and all those things that block me.
I love the fact that you choose to look at that 10 or 15 extra minutes as being unlimited. And I think that is really where the mindset has to shift, right? Like instead of, oh, I just want to sleep an extra 10 minutes and then feeling guilty and lazy.
That's not the point.
Yeah, use it as an amazing tool to really connect to being unlimited, which is really, if you think about it, what spiritual work is all about. We're always trying to create ways for ourselves to become unlimited and not limit our belief systems and not limit our ability to be prosperous or sharing or all of those things. So it's so interesting that it's so connected and yet we don't see it.
Yeah, and it's fun to grant yourself even 10 more minutes, 15 more minutes. Again, maybe if it's less developed, you might need more time. But sometimes, again, it's a way to show yourself that you love yourself, that you grant yourself 10 more minutes. You know what? I still didn't get the message. I have to find the resolution. I have to find the message, and then I'm okay with coming back.
Amazing. Let me ask this question, Mordecai. This kind of maybe goes against, not against what you're saying, but it's so interesting when you talk about sleep and dreams as a spiritual tool. So in many traditions, not just in Kabbalah, there are times when you actually stay up all night and you don't sleep.
Yes.
So is that a way of using sleep as a spiritual tool, even though you're not sleeping?
It's a really good question. There's a whole discussion about it in the amongst the Kabbalists about the effectiveness, and again, how effective it is in terms of dreams. Well, it's kind of like a trade that you're doing, because on that night when you choose, and there are specific windows in time, that when we don't sleep throughout the whole night, we defy the energy of end. We defy the energy of death. Because when we go to sleep, 59 out of 60 parts of our soul leave us. Only one part stays with us as a tracking device. So we will know where to return, which body to return. So throughout the night, it's like we taste. The Zohar, the main text of Kabbalah, says we taste the taste of death. So when you are not sleeping throughout the night, and we're not talking about watching a game or being engaged in spiritual things like meditating, reading spiritual, using different tools, Kabbalistic tools, that is so on one hand you get greater elevation, you defy the energy of end, you defy the energy of death. On the other hand, this is again the trade, you won't be able to receive on that night dreams, messages in dreams. I mean, yes, you can sleep the morning later, but then, according to the Kabbalist, those gates are already closed, which is a whole discussion about people that walk during the night and sleep during the day. Can they really get messages? And the answer is yes, but they will need to be more spiritually evolved, and usually they will have more obstacles on the way to elevate because the shop is closed. So just remember that the Kabbalists did kind of like something in the middle. Yes, in some nights they would stay up the whole night because you can really get more benefit than just going to sleep. But most of their nights they would go to sleep at sunset. They didn't have internet or any other thing, any other attraction.
Netflix.
Wake up in the middle of the night, midnight, which is the exact midpoint between sunset and dawn, and then study. So they found something in the middle where they can get dreams and at the same time reveal a lot of light during the night, which is during the darkness you can reveal the greatest light.
Well, it sounds to me like, again, it's all about being limitless in different ways, right? Yes. So, and certain nights, the limitless is you're removing the end or the death aspect to our lives. It's no different in a way, to being limitless in your sleep.
And
so
it's not that this one is better than the other,
right,
or vice versa.
It's just different times.
Great and important.
Right. So I just want to recap because we're getting close to the time where we need to move on to our amazing features, that really what you're saying is resetting our mind's belief system about sleep and dreams and the importance of it, and not just as a throwaway or something that maybe actually equates to being lazy or liking to sleep in or anything like that, that it is a true spiritual tool. And the exciting part is as we go through these episodes, you're going to start giving us ways of understanding how to unlock that toolbox, right?
Yes. It's
part to really to really
but just remember, even Rome wasn't built in one day. It took 200
yes.
years. I'm not saying it's going to take 200 years, but allow yourself the process. Enjoy the process.
Okay. And come back and watch all of the episodes that are coming up, because
right.
in each and every one there's even in this one, Mordecai, you talked about that like 59 parts of our soul leave our bodies,
yes.
right? That's a big thing. We're going to talk about that coming up. That was a little snippet of what's to come, that our soul
Absolutely.
leaves us every
and again,
night.
I'm sharing here things that I've never shared before. It's really like the magic, most secretive way, because again, it's a matter of practice to allow yourself to gain control while you're asleep. Because a lot of us think that when we are sleeping, we are hopeless. We don't have any control, and it's not true.
And
You
we're
can really
vulnerable.
gain a lot of control while you're asleep.
Yeah. All right. That sounds like something really to look forward to. And now we're going to cut over to the language of dreams. And what is the symbol of this week?
So the symbol of this week is a tree.
Tree.
Yes, or trees, right? So a tree represents in nature the ability to grow against the gravity, to go against your nature. Trees always go up. Again, this is the idea. And it gives us the ability to really grow and connect against our nature, go against our nature, our innate selfish nature, and to go out of ourselves. So when a person sees a tree in a dream, it has a few connotations. One is that you are granted the power to go against your nature. You're granted the support to really grow against your nature, or maybe it's a hint that in this particular matter that is concerned to you, the solution is to go against your nature, your selfish nature.
Okay.
Number two, we are familiar in Kabbalah with a concept called tree of life. Tree of life is obviously not a physical tree. It's a state of mind. It's a state of mind of life with no ups and downs. It's a state of mind that there's nothing bad. It's really all good. Not that something bad is happening to the individual and they convince themselves, no, it's for the best, even though I don't see it. Literally, when you are in the tree of life reality mindset, you cannot see it as bad. You already see and in the tree of life reality, there's no time, space, or motion. There is no limitation. When you see a tree in a dream, it's a very good sign. It means you are about to, or already started to embark on a process to grow your connection to that mindset, to that limitless mindset. And the last thing, but not the least, the tree, as we said, is connected to the energy of the level of Yesod in the tree of life reality, those 10 emanations, 10 levels that everything is comprised of, and all the light of the Creator flows through everything. Whether it's this bottle of water or my phone, everything is comprised. Every cell of my body is comprised out of the 10 levels, and the light of the Creator flows through those 10 levels to the physical reality until it manifests. The level of Yesod is the bridge. It's the ninth emanation from the top. It's the bridge between the metaphysical and the physical. And the righteous Kabbalist that exist and also lived here and passed on, they are connected to the level of Yesod. The known in Kabbalah is the Tzaddik. If you notice, if you go to visit the different resting places of the Kabbalist, especially the big Kabbalists, you will always see a tree over there. Always. So when we come in now to this understanding, when we have this opportunity, when we dream about a tree, it means that you are about to connect to the tzaddik, to the righteous within you, about to connect to a righteous Kabbalist that maybe already has left the physical reality, that will become your spiritual mentor. And it's really beautiful opportunity. Of course, if the tree is destroyed, If the tree is cut, you do the math. It can be hinting or warning about a disconnection, a hinting or warning about you need to take it to the next level, and so on.
Can I ask a quick question? Does the dream have to be about the tree, or is it just trees in a dream?
No, if you see a tree in a dream, that's
Okay.
already, again, the more trees you see, the more connection.
Okay.
And again, the attributes of the tree, it was long, that's like long connection, strong connection, thick, like there's different elements to the tree. They are all, just replace the word tree with tree of life consciousness.
Okay.
Righteous.
Great.
Yesod.
Thank you for explaining. And now, something to sleep on.
Yes, so this time we're giving you, we are upgrading our technology. We're taking it to the next level. We want to give you something to sleep on. This is the technology for the soul. So the Kabbalists have given us throughout the years different technologies using the Hebrew letters, using the Aramaic letters. And this one is from the 72 names of God. These are 72 three-letter sequences that were given to Moses and the Israelites when they split the Red Sea. Each one of those names allowing us to build a vessel within us to split our own Red Sea in that particular department. So there's a name for dumping depression, there's a name to connecting to happiness, a name for prosperity, a name for love, drawing the soulmate, and again, 72 names. My teacher always, the Ravberg, would always make a joke, why does God have so many names? Is he running from the police? And we understand here that each one of those names is like the keyboard for our soul. I want to give you today in this session the key in the keyboard that is connecting you to the power of dreams. There's a button in the keyboard for dreams, for inspiration, and for sleep. And that is the name from the 72 names of God, Lamed Lamed Hey, which you can again meditate in different ways. You will be able to create an eye connection before you go to sleep, even 10, 15 minutes meditation that you breathe in, pay close attention to your breathing, and create an eye connection with those three letters just before you go to sleep. And this will be your communication line to set your goals for your sleep, for your dreams, for messages, for clarity, and so on.
Awesome. And you can find the 72 name Lamed Lamed Hey on our Facebook group, which is the Art of Spiritual Sleep, on Instagram at Art of Spiritual Sleep. So check those two places out, and you will find a link so that you can get that particular name and you can use it to meditate before you go to sleep. It's also the place where you can comment, ask questions, share your stories about sleeping and dreaming, and what as you're continuing this process of practicing and getting better at it, what's going on in your life. Also, if you want to talk to Mordechay about a dream interpretation or his sleep coaching that he does to make your sleep better, you can email him at dreams@kabbalah.com.
Yes.
And we will be back next week on Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Mordechay, thank you so much. This was such an insightful episode. I really don't think I'll ever think about sleep or dreams the same way.
Good. And the more we appreciate it, the more we're going to receive from it, simply as it is.
Exactly. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next week. Thanks, Mordechay.
Good night.
Good night.